We're here at the beautiful Ladue Topiary Gardens with the Maryland Center for the Arts talking about the Plein Air Arts Festival. It's going to be an amazing festival right here in Harford County starting in July, and the festivities will go through October. We're also going to learn about the full-scale regional arts center that's going to open up in our community that's going to draw attention across the nation. So join us in the next 30 minutes as we hear about all the exciting events that are happening right here in Harford County. I'm Christy Breslin, and this is Harford MagaScene. Bob Willenbrink is the Executive Director for Maryland Center for the Arts, and we are here at the beautiful Ladue Topiary Gardens. If you haven't been here, you have no idea what you are missing. Bob, thank you so much for being with us today.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm thrilled to be here, and I love this location.
Oh, me too. I haven't been here in a long time, but like I said, it's a place you don't want to miss.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Very much so.
Now, Bob, what is the purpose and the mission of the Maryland Center for the Arts?
The purpose and mission of the Maryland Center for the Arts is to provide professional, performance, and educational opportunities and activities for all the citizens of Harford County. And we have programs that would appeal to everyone. The first big one is the Plein Air Art Festival, which we've talked about before, and it brings in artists from all over the country for a two-day event, and then it's extended for a while. That's followed by, in October, by a cultural folk festival which features folk songs from all over the world, and then a Bayside dance festival and several others. But the idea is that we're providing not only performances but educational opportunities for young people and citizens of all ages.
And I guess that's one of the many reasons why the arts are so important, especially right here in Harford County.
The arts bring communities together. That is the key. Whenever you go to an arts event, you're with a different group of people and you've come together to enjoy an event.
Now, Bob, this is something that people of all ages can enjoy, probably from 2 to 90. There's really something for everyone, isn't there?
That is exactly correct. Whether it's a Rejoice concert at Christmas time, whether it's a plein air festival, or whether it's a dance festival. We have participants of all ages, and we bring in professional artists to work with these groups educationally and then performance-wise.
Now, from what I understand, plain art or plein art, I know you can say it both ways, is a very difficult way of painting, and it takes a lot of talent. So tell us more about some of the talent that we're going to see and about the festival itself.
It takes a lot of talent, and we start with over 50 people interested in participating. They submit works to a preliminary judge, and that judge in turn selects the top 30. And those 30 go on exhibit in September at the Armory. And there's a two-day event, and that's the first part of a larger event called Arts Across Harford, where arts groups throughout the county participate in arts activities. And that Sunday is the big Bel Air Arts and Crafts Festival. So that Plein Air kicks off Arts Across Harford, and it's a great time in September for everyone.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned all these wonderful programs. There's so many of them, but we have to raise the funds to keep these programs running. So how do we do that?
Well, we raise the funds by asking people to partner with us, and corporations and individuals are allowed to partner with us, and I call it a partnership because we give something back. It's not just taking your money. In exchange for you being a partner, we publicize who you are, we thank you for your generosity, and we include you in all our activities, and certainly mention you when we have the event. So they can partner. If anybody wants to partner, they can find us on our webpage, mdcfa.org, and partner with us. If they have an arts event that they would like us to sponsor, we are willing to work with them and partner with them as well. So they can contact us at any time.
Bob, thank you so much. So excited to see all of the arts throughout Harford County. It's really made a difference.
Well, thank you very much. Thanks for doing this, and thanks for interviewing us.
Absolutely. And we're going to hear more about all the good work at the Maryland Center for the Arts coming up next when we speak to the board president. Carolyn Evans, a familiar face here in Harford County and one of our biggest cheerleaders for what is going to be an amazing regional arts center here in Harford County. Also the board president for the Maryland Center for the Arts. She has lots of exciting things to update us on. Carolyn, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Very much appreciate the opportunity.
So Carolyn, let me ask you, the Maryland Center for the Arts, and we are so excited about this, is planning a full-scale regional arts center in Bel Air. So let's talk about this, because it's been in the making for a while, right?
Yes, it has. So the Maryland Center for the Arts was gifted 42 acres of property by the Emily Bayless Graham Foundation for the purpose of a regional arts center in Harford County. At this point, we've gotten all of the approvals that we need in order to build the first building, which will be an amphitheater, and it'll be attached to what will be the offices for the Maryland Center for the Arts. The project cost is $3 million. Well, you know, that's not that unreasonable. Things cost money. There's infrastructure that needs to be done. Right now, we have prepared the property. We have cleared the trees. We have planted grass. We've put in a parking lot. We're holding events there. So part of the work has been done. So the remaining work is to actually do the building itself. And that's the $3 million that is left. And we have all of our county approvals, and we're ready to go. We can put the shovel in the ground once we raise the $3 million.
Well, I know that we're going to do it, because what's more important than the arts? So you said it was acquired by Emily Bayless. So talk about how it did come about, and again, the size. This is going to be huge.
Well, my understanding is that Emily Bayless Graham really wanted this property. It was her family property, and she wanted this property to be used for the community. It's near the festival. If the art center isn't built there, it'll be townhouses and another shopping center. Right now, 30 acres of it is wooded, 10 acres of it is cleared. And we want to keep it in its natural state, keep it rural. The first venue that we're building will be outside. There really is nothing like that in Harford County. Everything is more urban. You'll be able to enjoy performances outside. Once we get the second building, then we will proceed to the other buildings. There will likely be classrooms, gallery space, some performance space as well. But we're focusing our efforts right now on building the amphitheater, which is and the building right now. That's where we have our focus.
So it's the arts campus.
The arts campus.
Have all of these amenities.
Yes.
And is this going to be open to the public?
It will be. It's private property, but it will be used by the public. It is for the community.
What are the next steps that we could take to make this project a reality?
We need to raise our $3 million. That's the next step. Everything is in place. Like I said, we have all of our county approvals. We have all of our state approvals. All the pieces are in place. Now we shift to the fundraising part of the project.
And we know we need to raise those funds. So what can we do as a community to help make that happen?
Well, we would like, if you know of anyone who's interested in the arts and has extra money to spare and is willing to support a project like this, we'll talk to anyone. And every dollar matters. It doesn't matter if it's $10, $50,000, $1 million. It all adds up. And we think the more people of the community that donate to the project will be more community members that are invested in the project and will use the project.
Now, Carolyn, from your vantage point, how is this going to change Harford County?
Harford County already is a great place. We have lots of wonderful venues for lots of wonderful things. But this is a bucolic area right smack dab in what we call the development envelope. It is surrounded by shopping centers, condominiums, baseball fields, libraries. It's in a very urban area. It's an oasis, almost like a Central Park in Harford County. It's like 5 minutes from 95. It's an hour from Philadelphia, 30 minutes from Baltimore, maybe an hour from Washington, D.C. So it will bring in, we hope, regional performances as well as be a venue for local performances, as well as a venue for the programs that the Maryland Center for the Arts itself will run there.
A true asset to Harford County.
Absolutely.
Carolyn, thanks again so much, and I'm really excited about this. I mean, this is a huge thing for Harford County, and we're so lucky to have the support of the Maryland Center for the Arts.
Well, thank you, and we're very excited about it as well. Thank you very much.
It's coming soon.
It is, I hope.
So coming up next, we're going to hear more about the Plain Arts Festival here in Harford County and how you can get involved. Stay with us. Suzanne Zantop is the producer of the Plein Air Arts Festival, and what a festival this is going to be. What an asset to Harford County. Suzanne, thanks so much for being with us today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Suzanne, we are going to talk about the Plein Air Arts Festival. I'm so excited about it. I've heard about it for a long time. I've actually never been there, but it has a very rich history here in Harford County. Explain.
Well, several years after they started the mission to build the center, some of the board members decided that they needed to actually start producing some major art events. And the first one they decided to do in 2015 was what they called the Harford Plein Air International Festival. And they invited artists from the region to come and paint. And the following year they decided that there was such a fanfare and clamor to be in the festival that they started what's called a juried event. And that means that in March we send out a call for artists, and those people apply, and then we have a professional plein air artist look at their work, and then we choose 30 artists to be in the festival. Now this year they will start painting from July 1st until the middle of September.
Now, where do the artists come from? Because being a juried artist, you said that's pretty tough to get into, isn't it?
Well, what we have now are really experienced artists that are coming. And this year, the juried artists are coming from as far away as Poughkeepsie, New York, and North Fort Myers, Florida, and every place in between. Most of the Mid-Atlantic states are represented. 9 of the Maryland counties are represented, including 2 from the Eastern Shore, and Baltimore City, like Denise.
I know the festival is huge. There's so many components to it. So can you kind of walk us through what the format of the festival is?
Well, our festival is unique in the plein air festival world. We decided during the pandemic that when other people were canceling their festivals, which run usually a week to 2 weeks at the most, we decided to let the artists work on their own for 2 months. And they have to submit paintings to me, photos of their paintings in process with a GPS stamp on them. So they get to do things on their own, especially the ones that are coming from out of town get to come at their own leisure and come and go during that 2-month period. But we will all gather here at Ladue on September 12th when we have a paint out for all of our artists, and our awards juror will be here, and that will be open to the public. So they pay their admission to Ladue, and they can come in between 9 and noon to see people. And then on the 13th, we will have our awards ceremony and the opening reception of Arts Across Harford, which will be held at the Bel Air Armory, and that is free. So most of our events are free to the public.
Well, we love free. I mean, you can't get better than free. But one of the things that I wanted to ask you about is the quick draw competition. What is that?
Well, Quick Draw is a timed 2-hour event, and we divide it into 2 segments. There is the juried artists compete against each other, and then community artists can compete. And they're competing against each other. Some of them are not included in the plein air festival itself as a juried artist. Some of them are just local teachers and students. So if you're 18 and over, you can go to our website and register to participate, and that is held in downtown Bel Air, and there are cash prizes for community artists as well as the juried artists.
That's so great, because that really gives you a chance to shine your talent. So tell me more about the community involvement, because this is something everybody can come out to, right?
Well, and the other thing is that not just on those days, but as you're driving around Harford County, and if you see someone setting up an easel and painting, please stop and talk to them, because they love to talk to people, they love to explain their work to people, and they may have some suggestions of places to paint that our artists hadn't thought of.
Now I want to talk about the painting behind you. It is beautiful. What exactly are we looking at?
Now that's a painting that Denise did on Sunshine Avenue in Kingsville, which is Baltimore County. But we have so many scenes similar to that are in all over Harford County, here in the western part of Harford County, of course up north in the Darlington area, and every place in between. So if you've got a farm you'd like to have painted, let me know and I will direct some of our artists there.
Now, Suzanne, what would you say are some of the most popular places that people like to paint?
Everybody loves to paint up at Conowingo and Darlington. They love just below the dam. They love to paint the river. They love to paint the rocks. They love to paint in Havre de Grace. The bridges are very popular. And at the other end of Harford County, they also like to paint the Gunpowder River, which is a real hidden gem that most people pass over because they've never heard of it. Some of the other places, almost any back road, churches, barns, just anything that you can think of. A lot of them paint at the Liriodendron as well as painting here at Ladue.
Now, when the artists are painting, can members of the public come out and watch? How does that work?
Well, they can come out on that Thursday morning here on the 12th from noon to between 9 and noon. And then, of course, they can come on Saturday to see the quick draw. And also on Sunday, when the exhibit gallery is open again for the last day at the Armory, and that's open from 10 to 3, we will have Young Artists Day, and we will have the youngest of our community also painting, practicing their painting, and a competition, quick draw competition just for them.
Oh, I would love to see that. But Susan, I have to ask you, I mean, how do you choose? How do you choose the finalists, and how do you choose from all these talented people?
Oh, that's not my problem. We have professional jurors that do this. And Dr. Jacqueline Beam, who is from Delaware and on the Governor's Arts Commission up there, was the entry juror who chose from the submissions. She scored them and then we chose them from that. And then our awards juror is John Halsey, who is a member of the Artists Road, and he is coming from Missouri.
Oh, wow. And you talked about prizes, so there's some good prizes for these finalists,
well,
right?
For the juried artists, we award over $10,000 in prizes and commissions on sales of their work. A portion of the sales do benefit the Center for the Arts.
Fantastic. Sign me up.
Good.
Well, I'm not any good, but I could try. But what happens to the artwork when the event is over?
When it's over, on September 20th, all of them will be posted on our website, and you can choose the ones that you like and pay for them. You can buy them, and that will run until October 31st.
And of course, for anybody that wants to come to any of these events, how do we find out when and where?
Well, you can go to our website and you'll see all of the information. There's a schedule on the plein air web page, and that will tell you when and where everything is taking place, and how to buy art. And we hope you'll think about it.
Oh, definitely. And as you said, part of the proceeds go to the Maryland Center for the Arts.
Exactly.
Suzanne, thank you again so much. There is so much beauty here in Harford County and so much talent. So it's nice to be able to share that outside of Harford County.
Absolutely.
So coming up next, we're going to talk to one of the artists that's involved in the festival and see some of her amazing work and what she plans to do for the upcoming events. Stay with us. I am lucky enough to be here with one of the very talented artists, Denise Matakrupa, and she is working on, Denise, tell us what you're working on, because this is absolutely beautiful.
I'm working on the view through the arbor area at the little putti statue, the Cupid out there. The light's just shafting through. Over here it's pretty shady, but trying to capture the moment. As you can see, the clouds pulled over and everything is plain right now. It's kind of flat light. So I'll wait a moment and it'll show up again and we'll be able to hit the highlights again.
Well, I remember when I first walked up to you, I was looking at this and it looks like you're painting with chalk.
It is soft pastel. Soft pastel is compressed pigment in a stick form. And there are many pastelists across the nation as well as internationally. And I'm a member of the National Pastel Society as well as the Maryland Pastel Society.
And how long have you been doing this?
I've been using pastel since I I was 15.
Wow.
And I'm well past the age of 15.
That was 5 years ago.
Right, 5 years ago. An art teacher loaned me his case over the weekend, and I fell in love with it in high school. Yeah, and completed my training at the Maryland Institute and taught pastel at the Maryland Institute.
Well, you are wonderful at it. You've won several awards. You just showed me one of your business cards, and I was so impressed with what you had on there. So talk about some of the awards that you've won for this amazing work you've done. I know you're not going to say it, so I will.
Yes, I captured the Spirit of Maryland Award a few years ago at the Harford Plein Air competition, which Yumi Hogan judged the show, and yeah, I took the grand prize.
No surprise there. Now talk to me about plein air. What exactly is that?
Plein air is when an artist will go out on location to paint the environment. It can be a building encapsulated with landscaping. They're trying to capture the moment, like Cézanne, Monet. Many of those artists were painting for a brief period of time. They would come back another day at the same time to try to capture the same moment. However, I don't do that. I'm one-shot deal. 2 hours, we're done, because it's hard to duplicate the same weather conditions, the same lighting. So I'm a rather impatient artist, and so within 2 hours, we're done.
That's incredible. So you're participating in the Plein Air Art Festival. It's coming up.
Oh, it's wonderful.
So tell us about that for anybody that hasn't been there.
It is the best setup ever. I've entered other plein air competitions, but this one is great because it runs from July 1st to September 13th, I believe, and you can paint any time during that time period. So the weather conditions, you wake up one morning and it's great, you go paint. Any place in Harford County, and if you are juried in and you're living out of state, you can submit a couple of those paintings as far as judging. I've been blessed enough to be juried in, this is my 5th year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. You never know who's going to get in.
You don't.
It's a competition of, they initiate 30 artists. They select 30 artists at the beginning, and then we have another juried show at the Armory in September. It's open to the public. The Friday before, we have award ceremony, and then there's a 2-hour quick draw the following morning. Many of the artists participate, and the community participates in that. So it's really a wonderful way to expose people to what's happening in their area. I've been known to knock on doors and say, "Excuse me, can I park in your driveway?" Yeah, because, you know, if it's a beautiful view, you want to be able to capture it, you know?
Absolutely.
And very often they're seeing it daily or not seeing it. They're just walking through and not noticing. So yeah, I love to do that. I love to find new locations to paint.
Well, we are looking forward to seeing what you come up with at Plein Art, and also I guess we'll see you at the Armory, but thank you so much, and thank you for capturing all these beautiful places in Harford County.
Oh, thank you. It's quite an opportunity. I really enjoy it.
Well, one of our great artists here, Denise, thank you so much. Stay with us. As you have seen here today, there is something that everyone can enjoy with the arts here in Harford County. We've had a great time here at Ladue Topiary Gardens, and we invite everyone to come out for the Plein Air Art Festival and all the upcoming events. You can visit the website mdcfa.org for all the details, and we hope to see you out there to enjoy all that Harford County has to offer with the arts. I'm Christy Breslin. See you next month on Harford MagaScene.